This is Monamidai, and you're listening to the motherfucking One Bar Lepicus Show.
Welcome back to the One Bar and Lepicus Show. And you know what? We're still basking in the warmth and the lovely sensation that brings a victory against the hated Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings, 5-5. Hell yeah.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Even though we're doing a video on the 5 losers, we don't consider these losers. There's no losers when you beat the Packers, but we're going to do it anyways because there are some guys that maybe didn't have their best game.
You know what? That's going to, it happens. The Packers, much as we hate them, they're an 8-2 team. They're very good. They were an 8-2 team. Now they're 8-3.
8-3.
Very, very good team. But again, so when you're playing a good team, some guys maybe are going to have a rough time with their good players. And that showed today. And we're going to talk about those guys. But before we talk about that, be sure to drop hashtag 4,500 in the comments. We're scratching and clawing our way to 4,500 subscribers. For God's sakes, become a Patreon night. Join our Patreon. Link is down below in the description, I believe.
Yes, patrons, we're up to 35. Every patron gets a Christmas card, monthly giveaway, shout outs. There is no reason to not be a patron. Let's get up to 50 before Christmas.
Oh yeah, don't forget about the amazing mystery video that is produced every single week with love and care from the One Bar and Lepicus. All right, let's talk about the 5 losers from this game. Like you said, you already prefaced this. You beat the Packers. No one's really a loser. No one's ever a loser. But these guys maybe didn't quite step up as much as we'd hoped to see. And let's start with the first one. And a guy who it was surprising to see him get the start. And he had a very, 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 very tough assignment against Kenny Clark. And he did not fare well against him. It was Mason Cole.
Yeah, let's, like you said, before we get into Mason Cole, let's at least give hats off to Mike Zimmer, whoever made the call to make Mason Cole the center, because he deserved it. He deserves to be the starter from here on out. No doubt about it. Garrett Bradbury, we know what we have in him. Mason Cole outplayed him in 2 weeks, but he had a very tough assignment. And did he live up to that assignment? Absolutely not. But I don't think many centers would have. But he had a tough time, and we got to give it to him. Mason Cole had a tough game, and he is one of our losers, unfortunately. Yeah. I don't feel good about saying it, but he is.
No, he was knocked on his ass repeatedly, pushed back into Kirk Cousins, and then they kept showing Garrett Bradbury in the sidelines like it would have made any difference. No, it wouldn't have made any difference. It would have been
remember the point where they were like, you know what, they might actually rotate centers throughout the game. Nobody's ever done that in the history of the NFL, rotating centers.
And that, of all the positions, why would you rotate center? That's all about rhythm. It's all about just the way the game's going. You want to make sure the timing's down, the snaps are down, the rhythm's down. Why would you ever rotate a center? That was the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life.
They might have made that up.
They might have. It was a stupid ass call by whoever said it. I don't know if it was Greg Olson or the other announcer, but Mason Cole had a rough go of it. But again, I would still rather see him out there next week than Garrett Bradbury. So maybe, really, when you think about it, maybe he's still a winner.
He might be, but who is next on our list?
Next on our list is the guy who likes to eat nuts. It's our defensive end, Everson Griffin.
Yeah, I mean, when you have back-to-back penalties, not only back-to-back penalties, but penalties where so he was offsides, and then the next time he was just like 10 yards offsides.
Well, the first time I think they actually called it on the offense. I think they said they false started, but
are you serious?
Sure, Everson Griffin left early, yeah. And then the second time, it was clear he was lined up a good 4 or 5 yards beyond the ball, beyond the line of scrimmage.
I think it was about 9 to 10 yards.
And what I don't get, why doesn't the D tackle pull him back? Why doesn't linebacker come back and pull him back? Why doesn't someone silent say, hey, Everson, scoot back? There was plenty of time to do that. That didn't happen. Free play for Aaron Rodgers. You never want to give Aaron Rodgers a free play. And even besides that, I mean, where was Everson Griffin today? Did he have
0 stats? He didn't have a single stat. I mean, whoever was playing D tackle at that point, Sheldon Richardson sort of looked at him and said, oh, well, sir, you are sitting right next to AJ Dillon. You need to back up a little bit.
You can smell his dick.
Everson Griffin, let's be clear, he started off very hot. Proved to us that he is still worthy of being in the NFL. Not only that, but worthy of being a starter in this league. And he's had a very good year, but today was not one of those games. And we needed him to step up a little bit, especially with the depleted depth we have at defensive end.
Yeah, and he's really cooled off the last couple of games, so hopefully he turns it back on here moving forward. We
Let's
see
get
what
him
he's
some glasses, like Chris Sable style or something, because
yeah,
clearly he doesn't know where the ball is.
That was absolutely bizarre. It was weird, and it was so blatant that I'm just surprised no one else said anything to him prior to that, because it was clear.
The ref was holding the flag in his hand, waiting for the snap it just so they could throw it.
He was like, "Are you seriously? That's where you're gonna line up?" It was embarrassing. So again, Everson Griffin, not great. But let's go on to another guy who, I mean, this is maybe very nitpicky. We're trying to get 5 on this list. I'm gonna go with Alexander Madison, a running back again, where I just feel like when he's in there. And you alluded to this in our live. I don't think the play calls were really in his favor. The route or the way the runs were supposed to go weren't great, especially when they were called in the game. But again, a guy who's getting limited opportunities, but not really cashing those in at all.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, there were some weird play calls giving him the ball, but when, like you said, when he's getting the ball, he's not doing a ton, whether that's on him, the offensive line, the play call, whatever it is. We just got to throw it out on his lap. I'm sorry. I love me some Alexander Madison, but he's really done little to nothing.
Yeah, and it's 2 games in a row where I really thought, make something happen, and he's not. He's just kind of running in the pile, running into the hole, and nothing's really. He's taking what's giving him, not creating anything else, not creating anything extra, and it's tough to see, but it is what it is. And Alexander Madison definitely a turd in this one. Another guy who had a tough game. I'm not gonna like take this one hard or feel like he's a bad player or anything moving forward. But to say Christian Darris didn't have a bad game, I think is naive. He's a rookie, but he didn't play well today, and he definitely, I don't even know who he was going against. It was some dude, and it was a Dean Lowry. I'm not even sure who it was. But Darris was knocked on his ass multiple times, and he did have some good positive plays. But overall, I think this is definitely another down game for Christian Darris.
Who's our losers so far? Who's our 5 losers?
I'm not telling who the 5th is, but we got Mason Cole, Madison, Darris, and Griffin.
All right. Yeah, Darris, I mean, he's a rookie offensive tackle. Did he have a great game? No. Was it horrible? No. But was it great? Absolutely not. So I think we're in the same boat on this one. We got to be realistic about it. What's this, his 4th game, 5th game, maybe? I don't even know. So fine. I'll give it to him. That's it. That's all you get from me.
He had his hands full, and again, you don't want to see your left tackle ever getting his, his keister on the turf. That happened a couple times with Darris.
Oh, you mean shitter in the grass?
Shitter in the grass, keister on the turf, whatever you want to say.
Not shitter in the grass.
He did have some good plays. Again, I'm not knocking the guy, but he's a young player. He's going to have some rough patches. And I think he maybe is in a little bit of a rough patch right now. And it's not getting any easier next week against the Niners with the great D-line. So he better step up and be ready to roll when we head out west. And the last one, I think everybody who watched the game today can agree this guy definitely was a loser. He hasn't been all year, but today he was a loser, and that's our safety, Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods. My biggest concern with Woods is the missed tackles. In coverage, yeah, he got smoked a few times, but I put that maybe on just the play call, trying to get the sack, trying to get the blitz. But his missed tackles were disgusting. Come on, Woods, lay the wood. He showed up the last couple of weeks and had some very, very good games, but today was not one of them. This was clearly his worst game as a Viking. Still love me some Woods, but today was gross. Today was like the green olive of the games. Yuck.
Sure. Really like green olives. I mean, they're great on pizza. They're great in a drink. I don't know what's wrong with the green olive. You ever stuff them in a burger with cream cheese? They're delicious.
Any olive is disgusting.
You're disgusting.
Yes, absolutely.
Xavier Woods, yes. And I think you hit on it really. I mean, he's been great all year. And I do think the coaching staff did him little favors today, putting him in some one-on-one situations, really, where he was outmatched, whether it was Devontae Adams, Vontaze, Scanlon, whoever the hell it was. He can't keep up with that speed. That's not really something he's built to do. And you're asking him to do something he really can't handle or can't do. And that wasn't really fair, but I think they're hoping that they would have hit home before that ever would have happened. It didn't, and Xavier was burnt, but you said it. He missed some tackles. He took some really poor angles. Not really what we've seen from Xavier was in the first 10 games or 9 games, and not something we expect to see today, but it happened today. And Xavier was, I'm going to give you, this was your first bad game. I'm not going to start screaming for someone to replace you by any means, but hopefully you come back, have a much better performance against the Niners next week. But this week was definitely not your finest moment in purple.
He will. He's going to come back. He's going to come back strong. No worries. No worries whatsoever. Those are our 5 losers of a game that it's tough to even give a single damn loser. So if you got some losers that we missed, hit us up in the comments, hit up that Patreon link, hit up the WinView link. Let's do this.
Hell yes. And also remember this while you're waiting for our next vid, waiting for the Niners game and waiting for Thanksgiving dinner to be served and waiting to keep your skull in your hole. Remember this. Sir Isaac Newton predicted that the world would end in the year 2060.
Oh, no.
It's not much time.